All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in. It's been quite a while since I made my last video. Months have gone by. I haven't done much besides pay off debt. I haven't bought too much stuff. I bought John Wick bars, 5 John 1 ounce Wick bars, and one 10 ounce bar that looked really, really beat up from Atmex. It looked like someone slid them across concrete. Let's talk about silver price. Last video I talked about silver going down. It went down, it trickled down from $18. We all thought that silver was going to crash, go back down to $15. It had a long way to go. We were all wrong. It reversed, and for 3 solid months it's been gaining value. Right? Year to date, it's still down 45 cents, 2%. 1 year, it's up 2 cents. 5 years, it's up 40%. So you're doing well if you had all your stack before 2020. Let's look at the last 3 months, up 24%. That's wild, $4. So that's when 4 months ago I made my last video, and we thought it was going to crash down to $15. It didn't. It's gained 24% since then. I maybe think this is the beginning of the run of 2024. I, again, looked at the previous run of 2008 leading up to 2011. That was a huge spike. That was probably the last big rush that we've had in silver spot price for a lot of the stackers who are on YouTube. That's the last time they saw silver really hyped. And so leading up, listen, we've got recession. We have a war in Ukraine and Russia. We have high inflation. We got a really bad economy that's gonna get worse from what a lot of people are saying. Bezos just came out with an interview saying, hey, if you were gonna buy a TV or something, it's probably better that you hold off in the coming months because economically we're going to be doing much worse. So more people are anticipating a really big downturn in the beginning of 2023. 2024 is another presidential election. I honestly think that right now, because it's the Democratic Party, it's going to flip. It always usually does. It's going to flip. Leading up to that, what is it going to do for precious metals? Maybe we'll see a run like we did in 2011, from 08 to 2011. So what can it potentially be? That's where it gets kind of crazy, right? We've seen $40 silver, we've seen $30 silver in the last couple of years. I believe that's what it peaked in the last 2 years, right? As the pandemic happened in March of 2020, we saw price rise to $30. Again, when it was down here, there was no inventory. You talk about silver shortages now on YouTube. I'm seeing them all over the place now. With silver bars at the LBMA being drained or whatever. There's no more physical. Go run out and buy physical because you're not going to get it. That has happened with ammo. It's happened with everything that we've ever had. Y2K came along. I don't know if you guys are old enough to know about Y2K, that the computers were going to go down. There was not going to be an input for the year 2000. It was going to reset, and the world was going to suffer for it. Everyone went out and bought gasoline, water, food, and just started, the beginning of the prep movement. Since then, we've been doing extremely well with computers. There's no issues. Again, these are scare tactics. Same thing with the ammo, same thing with guns. It happens all the time. Oh, they're going to take away this. There's not going to be any more of this. And what happens? Everything runs. Toilet paper ran out because of the high consumption of it. Because why? There was a threat that it wasn't going to be there anymore. And it didn't even matter. As far as toilet paper, I don't know. Buy a bidet. I don't know. Anyways, same thing happens right now with silver. We're seeing high premiums on silver, over $7, and we're going into the holidays. This is when the time of the year where you're supposed to be getting some really good deals on Black Friday. I didn't see anything across the board that was very enticing to get me to go and spend money. I know a lot of people were looking for it, and that's what usually happens when you put out something that says, hey man, I didn't find anything that was any good deals. Then people start to come up, oh, you didn't see this, you didn't see that. No, because I wasn't looking for it. I want to go to my favorite bullion online bullion pages, and it just bombards me with all these amazing deals that I just can't pass up. That was not the case this year. Atmex is doing the 12 days of deals. Again, $30 for a Cougaran, $30 for a Britannia, $30 for a Philharmonic. Man, times are really tough or really, really good for the bullion dealers. Again, in my opinion, it's not the time to buy. It's time to pump your brakes, build your, uh, savings account, build your 6 to 12-month savings account, set some money aside so when things get really, really bad, if you're an investor and you buy stocks, you're looking for that new bottom low coming into next year so you can pick up your favorite stocks. Companies that will do are going to beat the recession, they're going to get through it, and then they're going to grow in value. This has happened historically. One of the two ones that I bought, I mentioned this on last video. I bought a marker on SLV. A marker is just one share so you can figure out it's exactly what it says. It's a marker. It's to tell you where you bought it at and to look at it a month later, 2 months later, and see where it's at. I honestly thought that it was going to start to trickle down. It didn't. 3 solid months of growth. And I bought the share, and it was crazy because I was looking at it. I actually bought it in one of these dips. I bought it at 16.63, and it hasn't been under $17 for several months now. Let's look at this a little bit more closely. 16.90, that's almost $17. I didn't buy. I think I bought it in September. Yeah, 4 months ago. So there's another dip opportunity in October. So I did really well. It's up 24%. I think it's like $3, almost $4 is what it's gained. Again, man, I so wish I would have bought a lot of it. 100 shares, 50 shares, something, but I just didn't have the capital at the time. 10 shares would have cost me 160 bucks, and so on. So I didn't have that. But if I did, I would have made $4 on almost every share, increasing that profit. And again, 3 solid months of gain. So could it be the beginning of a run? I don't know. 3 months is pretty good. If it's gone up and up and up every 3 months, for the last 3 months, it's a good sign that it's in a run. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm really pissed that I didn't buy more. Oh well. You live and you learn. That's why you have to do your due diligence and know when you're gonna buy something. It's like betting on a number and saying, I know 100% that this number is gonna hit. So I'm gonna put all my money on there, and it's gonna hit. That's how you gotta be confident about your buying. And I just not wasn't there. I wasn't there at all. So I bought one marker, and it's doing good. I'll sell it when it does 50%. I don't know. Moving right along, A-Mark Precious Metals. Again, I can't talk about this enough. A-Mark Precious Metals, the #1 bullion dealer in the United States. They've done over $8 billion in the last 2 years of sales, which is crazy. They actually joined the Fortune 500 company as of 2001 because of that monster gain. Look at this. Look at this. $42. They split. It used to be almost at 100. From $4 to $42. That's a 10x. That's a 10 bagger. That is massive. Gregory Roberts, we talked about his dividends alone, brought him in 6 million plus. They used overpriced shares when this was trading around double what they were trading now because, again, they split. It was over $80. They sold off those shares and to buy silver, gold, bull in Canada. So they are just buying and buying and buying. Check this out. Subsidiaries, they already have JM Bullion. AMA Associates is Silvertown. See, right here, Silvertown Mint subsidiary. Winter Game Bullion, I still don't know what they do. AM Services, Gold Line, seller of gold and silver coins. These are for metal investors, collectors. LA 1960. They are just building their own business portfolio, and it's amazing. Again, if you're a stacker and you're buying physical gold and physical silver, you should definitely check into A-Mark Precious Metals because they are one of the largest bullion dealers in the United States. When you buy, they profit. So it just makes sense to have them in your portfolio. So when something skyrockets, you get paid as well, and your portfolio becomes more and more valuable. Like this happened just now in 22. I can't believe I missed this. I can't believe no other stacker in YouTube community talked about A-Mark Precious Metals other than them acquiring JM Bullion. Like that was the news. No way. They're one of 9 authorized purchasers. I can't repeat this enough. One of 9 authorized purchasers of the American Silver Eagle. When they feed American Silver Eagles to us, the retail investors, they profit heavily off the premium. and then they sell it to their dealers who put on an extra premium, and then those dealers sell them to the whole, it's a whole chain, supply chain, and everyone gets their piece. By the time we get it, we're paying for every piece that they got. $44 for an American Silver Eagle. It's crazy, and everyone's talking about how that is like the coin to stack. You want to stack that, you become a numismatic um, collector, I guess. Man, check this out. 2022, 42. Oh my God, $42 if you buy less than 19. That is nuts when silver price is $22.50. Wow, that's more premium than the Libertad coin, which completely is different because they have mixed mintages. I think that their mintages were a little bit different, but the U.S. Mint has always pumped out more than 3 million coins per year. I think it was a lot less during the pandemic because more people didn't go to work and there was not enough production. But again, man, if you're buying these, whew, if you're buying them at 44 and you're gonna go sell them at 20 something dollars, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know the premium has kind of played a good part in selling your coins. So if you were buying and you stacked prior to 2020, man, you made a killing selling coins now because your premium is in your favor. But if you're buying with the high premium and you're going to resell later, that later might not come soon enough, and you might be taking a loss on the premium. So I don't know. Let's not talk about this. Everyone has their own money to spend. They're all grown adults. You do whatever you want to do. But as far as I'm concerned, I can't recommend or encourage you enough to look at A-Mark Precious Metals to add into your portfolio. If you're buying physical silver, you should definitely be looking at them too, because they're the ones who are feeding the United States in silver and gold. Moving right along, Whale Wisdom, that's the database that I use to look at all of the top hedge funds to see what they're buying. I'm looking particularly at value investors like Warren Buffett, Bill Ackman, Greenlight Capital, people who buy shares, buy stock to hold forever. So that's the kind of investment that I like to do, that I personally like to do. That's what I thought I was buying when I bought silver. But just in my last video alone, I pointed out, if you had bought silver 14 years ago, it increased 2 pennies. You sat on silver for 14 years and all it did was produce 2 more pennies for you. That's not a very good investment. That's not good. Let's go back to this Euro Pacific Asset Management. This is none other than Peter Schiff out in Puerto Rico. His investment firm is handling $380 million. That's massive. That's a lot of money. But check this out. When I first came across interviews with Peter Schiff, I thought for sure he was nothing but gold bug, forget buying stocks, this and that. And then I come across his 13F filing, like, wow, his top 10 probably only have about half of them are actually mining stocks or something related to precious metals. The other ones are like, look at tobacco is the second biggest. There's some petroleum, BP Petroleum, British Petroleum, man. It's crazy. Gold royalty, what is this? Franco-Nevada, that's another precious metal. Shell, Philip Morris. This is crazy. I thought for sure he hated stocks, he hated everything else, and gold was his only thing. But come to find out, nope, he's diversified in a lot of different things. So if you are a person who's a stacker and you're looking at YouTube channels, and now these YouTube channels are getting, they're allowing their platforms to be used to promote mining stocks that you probably never heard of, that are trading penny stocks, that are on the Canadian market. And you don't know, right? People, they see that, they want to support the channel, and they buy into these mining stocks. I personally would not buy any of those mining stocks. I would look at the professionals like Peter Schiff and look to see what they're putting their money into. And again, his largest number one spot in his portfolio, 380 million, is 7% gold. Barrick Gold is their first one. So that's something that I would be looking at. If they've had it since 2019, I know for sure that they're buying and holding, and that's something that would point me in the right direction. Let's get rid of that one and go into Sprott. Eric Sprott and Rick Rule, I believe, worked for Sprott. I think Rick Rule runs a family office now and controls his personal family wealth. But look at this. This is another good one too. They got $1 billion assets under management. I'm sorry, 17 billion assets under. That's a lot of money. 24 clients, and then you can break it down on the portfolio. Every single top 10 position has to do with precious metals. This is the one that I would be looking at constantly if I'm going to get into precious metal stock and I don't know where to go. This is where I would go. And then you can actually organize this by what's the oldest that they've had. That's from 2006 is when they bought it. And the newest ones they ended up buying, let's see here. Here's Q3. These are the newest ones that they've added to the portfolio. So if you look at them, that's how I kind of like figure out where I'm going to put my money if I want to get into the precious metals related sector. I look at the pros and I look what they're buying and then try to see if I can mimic what they're buying. So I hope it's helpful. That way you guys can, if you guys, again, man, I came from the stock market. I'm always going to back stocks. They've been around since 1700s, I believe. There's never been any issues with people, with especially me. I've never had any issue where the government takes away my stocks. I know a lot of people are just set on their ways. I feel like there are a lot more old school people out there who just stack precious metals and stay away from stocks. I've seen it all the time in the commentary. Oh, you do you, I'll do me, which is fine. Everyone's spending their money the way they like. But what I've noticed is that the newer generation of stackers are well diversified. They got crypto, they got precious metals, they got stocks. And I think that that's the smarter play to do it. Crypto is very volatile. You got to know what you're doing. You got to get out when you can, take profits when you can. And it's not something that you sit on. Precious metals, again, we've heard the hedge against inflation story. That hasn't really done well in the last 2 years. Maybe now because it's running at $22, maybe. I mean, I've held my silver for over 3 years and it's gained. I can't say that enough. I've done well with my silver. But someone who's coming in at peak, where they bought in silver at $30 over, I mean, they may be down, trying to get rid of it now. The only good thing is that premiums are in their favor right now, so they can probably get out with some money made. And my position, my gold plan, my silver plan is to accumulate my stack and then pass it on to the next family lineage, whether it be my niece, my nephew, my son, my daughters, whoever. That next generation needs to be prepped on how to maintain it. I was looking at a video on YouTube called Valuetainment. Really, really good, smart. I love his work. I love all the stuff that he puts out. A lot of controversy, a lot of good ideas. Not everything I agree with, but some stuff is really, really good. He made a video about how generational wealth is accumulated and held, covers the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, everything, and how it's dissolved. I didn't know about the Vanguard family. There's only so many amount of, if they keep spending the way they do, there's only so much more years that they can sustain that. And so that's kind of crazy. There's some families that have held their wealth more than 100 years. That is something that's very, very interesting. Can I do that? I can pass my 2 pennies on to my family and hope that they continue to build on that. But that's where my plan is. That's where my stack is going to eventually go to. I'm going to try to get that written into the trust and figure out how we're going to save it if it needs to go into an IRA or whatever. That's another thing. If anyone has done an IRA with precious metals, I would love to see their input. If you're a content creator, please make a video about it. If you're not, and if you can comment on this video, I'd really, really appreciate how you do it, how much fees you pay per year, what's it cost to maintain it, and then how much your gain is year after year. That would be super cool to look at. I know Amex does their IRAs. And there's only a certain amount of products that you can go into. What I'm most interested in is, can I use my own personal stack that I've accumulated through different sources and put it into an IRA with Amex or with someone else? That's the question that I want to know. Let's see here. Here it is, precious metals IRA. I'll look at this and then I'll probably make a video and see if I plan it. What I've noticed is that you have to have a certain amount of value in your stack in order to start to put it into a storage or get into an IRA. But that would be really cool if I can transfer my own stack to my bank, and they take it over. They verify that it's 99% pure, and then they say, okay, we'll accept it. We'll put it in your IRA, and I can leave it there. That'd be really cool. Happy blessings, happy stacking.